Not only are boomers trying to sell me their houses for $1 million that they bought for $50,000, I have to go to work to pay their social security.
Why don't you just buy a house? Just buy a house.
Just leave, bro. Just move out. You thought I haven't tried, bro?
I got laid off from my corporate job yesterday.
We are being lied to about the state of the economy.
I'm so sick of hearing how amazing this economy is doing when it's just not. I lost my job last year. I've been looking for a new job since then.
Not only are boomers trying to sell me their houses for $1 million that they bought for $50,000, I have to go to work to pay their social security. So not only are they becoming millionaires through a housing crisis, they are also getting a supplemental income for being the bums that they fucking are. Bull fucking shit, man. Cut social security.
Millions of us are completely burnt out when it comes to the cost of living. Most of us can't even afford a home, while groceries and gas prices are skyrocketing. And if you have one emergency repair or a hospital visit, it can set you back years. We are burnt out. Everywhere you go, it's full of consumerism, advertisements, and money. But when we go to the store, we are praying that we can even put food on the table. The cost of living crisis is completely out of control, and I'm scared that it's going to keep getting worse. Let's take a look at these clips and let me know what you think.
So let me get this straight. You're renting an apartment for $3,000 a month. Why don't you just buy a house? Just buy a house. Are you saving money? Not really. Okay. All right. That's the problem with this generation today, the kids today. You waste money on food and shelter, and then you wonder why you can't get ahead. Let me tell you the secret to being financially secure. You always gotta have money coming in, okay? Always have money coming in. Think about it. Spend $7 on a dozen eggs. You could have taken that $7 and invested it. That's why you're never gonna have money.
The head of America's largest utility is issuing an urgent warning right now that you could lose power next year due to the rise in data centers and the lack of energy in America's electricity grid. Calvin Butler, the chief executive of a company called Exelon, which is the largest U.S. utility by customer count, spoke to the Financial Times and said that Americans could absolutely lose power next year due to shortages, specifically in power plants in the Northeast and the Midwest. He said that it came very close last winter to curtailing power to hundreds of thousands of Americans. He also says that your electricity bill is going to rise pretty quickly because it's necessary to fund infrastructure for the AI boom, to fund data center construction and management. And it comes as PJM, another utility which operates in the Northeast and Midwest and recently had possible issues during the heat wave, says it's going to face a 60 gigawatt power supply shortage over the next decade. This is an energy crisis that not enough people are talking about. So spread the word, follow for more.
For all the idiots that keep commenting, just leave, bro. Just move out. You thought I haven't tried, bro? You thought I haven't never thought about that? You don't just leave or just move out. There's so many variables you got to be in control of first. First off, in this shitty economy, there's already the rent that you got to worry about. Everything's hella expensive for no reason. So if you're going for somewhere cheaper, you got to make sure that's still a safe neighborhood. So I'm trying to find a delicate balance between a good price and somewhat of a safe neighborhood. And if you're moving out with someone else, like with a friend or your girlfriend, bro, I got to coordinate with them too. On top of that, each individual probably still has ties with their family. Stuff like health insurance, car insurance that are probably shared with the parents still, or credit cards that are still under the parents as authorized users. I gotta make sure I got all those insurance and credit cards set up before I completely detach from my parents. You also need to have enough in your savings for maybe a high security deposit for the apartment. And most apartments nowadays, you need to be earning at least 1.5 to 2.5 the amount of rent per month. If I'm moving to a new area too, I need to transfer my job as well. I can't just move to a new area, have no job. So yeah, clearly I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about moving out for the longest time, of course. When I came back from college from Taiwan, I had no networking left in America and no contact with my old friends. And I couldn't find a job on top of that for forever. And I kept hanging on to the hope of I'll find a job. So I didn't find any part-time jobs in the middle until I started giving up after 1.5 years into the job search. That's when I found the tutor job. And that was also after I got rejected a bunch of tutor centers or retail stores somehow. So yeah, I've been planning to move out for like my entire life. I just kept getting caught in bad financial spots and being led on by false hope. So anyways, originally I was planning to move out by summer, but I gotta hurry the hell up now because my mom's just getting crazier and crazier. So I'm planning to move out in 1 or 2 months.
I'm 65 years old. I'm legally blind. I'm on disability. I went to my doc and I lost 28 pounds in the last year. I did not need to lose 28 pounds. I did not try to lose 28 pounds. I lost the 28 pounds because I cannot afford to eat anymore. Under Biden, I'm so sorry. Under Biden, I was able to put $100 a month away for food, along with my SNAP, and I did okay. I could get fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and meat. It is just me. But now, with grocery prices so high, propane, electricity out of this world, I now only allow myself $65 a month for food.
Sharon, are you on SNAP benefits?
Let me tell you, under Joe Biden, I received $80 a month for SNAP. That was taken away from me under Donald Trump. He took it away. He gave me $24 a month. I did receive that for a couple of months. Then he took it down to $12.50 a month. I said, screw you.
So right before a major financial crash or major economic crash, you're going to start to see the prices of assets and stocks soar in an unexplainable way. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't follow any of the fundamentals, any of the rules of finance or money. And that's when you know that a crash is right around the corner. We're right there. And I think that's happening right now.
I got laid off from my corporate job yesterday. And I think that this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now, and it needs to be shared because America is not doing well right now. We have a 94% prediction rate that the recession is going to come, but yet our frickin' administration hasn't even made the move to actually say that a recession is coming. And let's actually call it what it is, a depression. People can't afford groceries, they can't afford rent, they can't afford buying houses, they can't afford having babies, they can't afford having the kids in general if they already have them. We are not in a good spot, y'all. I know that I'm just a number in a company, but I thought I was okay. You're going to think that you're okay because you've worked there for so long or you have the right experience. Like, you guys, I have an undergraduate in marketing, a master's in business, 6 years of paid social media experience, both on a strategist and manager level. I have done people management for at least 3 years. I'm a senior level in my career. And yet, when I was hired to do a senior level role, I was forced into entry level positions. I was doing entry-level work as a senior-level strategist, all while at the same time being asked to reduce my workload with AI, and our team was having layoffs every 3 months. I should have seen it coming. I really should have. But the thing is that it was not something that I saw coming, because the day before that they laid me off, I was literally talking coverage plans with another employee who was going on leave for months. How am I supposed to sit there and not think that I'm safe in that moment? I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that we live in a world like this where my manager wasn't even the one that fired me, by the way, or laid me off. It was frickin' HR, and they read off a script, but my whole team got laid off. And this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now. My partner is a first responder, so I'm very lucky for the fact that I can be leaning on him for support right now, because luckily his job is secure, thanks to the fact that number one, his job is essential, and number two, he has a union behind him. What I will never understand is why corporate agencies have not unionized. We're not allowed, right? We're not allowed. That's part of it. We'll get fired because at least in this corporate world, they're always going to side on the side of business because that's what's making the government money. This world right now is not supporting people. It is supporting business. You are just a number, unfortunately. So please prepare yourself for shit like this. I wish I would have. I wish I'd been applying to other jobs months ago. I just was so dumb to not realize the signs. I want to talk about it. I think people need to talk about it. I think we need to make this more public. We all saw the jobs report. It was awful. Getting laid off on the day that the jobs report goes out, and it's 22,000 instead of 75,000 new jobs. You know how discouraging that is? If you know of anything in the marketing space, let me know. Use my comments as a way in which to maybe trauma dump. I don't care, vent. I'm here for you guys. I can't believe this, and I'm really sorry if you're going through this too. Here for you.
We are being lied to about the state of the economy and how we are doing right now financially. Some people will say that our inflation is around 30 to 32%. No, our inflation is anywhere from 55 to 65%. See, inflation was 35% 2 years ago. Now it's doubled from that. And you know that's true because a buggy of groceries from 2015 that was $215 is now $681. You don't get from 215 to 681 with 32%. No. And it's everything. It's everything you buy. Me and my wife went to get some food on the way home yesterday, and we stopped at Crystal's and got 24 Crystals, no fries, no drinks, just the Crystals. It was $48. A couple years ago, that was $18. It's $48 now. The economy is so bad, no one is going to survive much longer. And what they're doing is they are purposely destroying they are crippling the dollar on purpose. Because if you make the dollar worthless to the point of we have no more buying power anymore, well, it's going to put us over a barrel and force us to switch to a new currency. And of course, what's going to be right there to be ready for us? Digital currency. They'll say, well, digital currency is safe. It's safe. Nobody can mess with it. It's the best way to go. But why would you want digital currency? Why would they want it? It's because everything that you buy can be turned off. See, digital currency can be controlled. So if they say, well, you bought too much ammunition this month, you can't buy any more ammo. Or you bought too much meat this month, you can't buy any more meat. You've done so much driving this month already, you don't need to drive anymore. It's too much gas. You can't buy any more gas. Cash means freedom. Cash is king. If you have cash money, that is ultimate freedom, because you can buy whatever you want and nobody knows. It's private. It's personal. You can buy whatever you want. It's cash. But as soon as you have to use digital currency, there's a trail of breadcrumbs everywhere. They know everything you buy. They know everything. And if they can decide one day that you said something on social media that they didn't like, or you go too much against the grain, and they turn off your money, and you can't buy nor sell nothing. Now, what do you think that sounds like? You can't buy or sell unless you have it. It's coming.
I'm so sick of hearing how amazing this economy is doing when it's just not. I lost my job last year. I've been looking for a new job since then. Still have yet to find anything. My husband, guess what happened today? He got laid off. Great. Nothing says thriving economy like two working professionals with degrees that both just lost their jobs within the past year. We're not alone. There was 21.2 million layoffs last year. This is layoffs, not including people that were fired, not including people that quit, just layoffs. 21.2 million last year. That is a record high since the pandemic, where restaurants and businesses had to lay everyone off because they were closing. Just in January of this year alone, there were 100,000 layoffs. That is a record high for monthly layoffs since the 2009 recession. We have millions of Americans losing their jobs. Meanwhile, the companies are reporting record-breaking profits. How the hell does that work? They want to talk about the economy's thriving. Meanwhile, gas is on the rise. Food's on the rise. Everything is on the rise. Fucking ground beef was $6.99 a pound at the grocery store. Ground beef. It was $3.99 a few years ago. On average, families saw a 15% increase in their grocery store bills last year. What? And thanks to these fucking data centers, Virginians get to watch their electric bill double this year. The economy is doing so well. Okay, then explain to me how my household has two professionals with college degrees that are currently unemployed and can't find jobs. Explain that to me. And before anyone says anything smart, my job is not a face-fronting job. People do not see my face. My hair does not matter. So now my husband and I have to decide what we need to cut when we've already cut so much, because we need to grow basically to our emergency fund, because at this point we only have my TikTok income to support our family. And that's fucking terrifying. And I know that we are just one family out of millions of families that have been affected by this administration, but I am so incredibly sick of hearing how amazing the economy is doing when I look around my community and everything points to the exact opposite. We are struggling. People are struggling to pay their bills. People are trying to decide if they need to turn off the heat or pay for food. It should be an embarrassment that they're claiming that the economy is thriving. Meanwhile, 21.2 million Americans just lost their job last year and we're projected to have way more this year. It really is just sinking in that this is the only source of income that I have to support my family right now. Oh, fuck. I'm going to be sick. Holy shit.
So $130,000 a year is now becoming the new poor. Right now, the average household income is $83,000. That's the median household income. But then if you do the math about the taxes they take out of your paycheck, the cost of housing, the cost of transport, the health insurance premiums, and childcare, Like if you look at this graph, you're going to see that $83,000 on the average cost will leave you $10,000 in the red, right? And to be comfortable, based off of the old 1960 standard of poverty rate, it was based off of how much it would take a family of 3 to eat back then. So she would take that number and multiply it by 3, and that number would be like the golden number. They'll spend a third of their money on food, and everything else would comfortably fit within the other 2/3 of that number. But back then, food was the most expensive thing. Housing was cheap, transportation was cheap, and everything. But by the modern standard, if you take that same metric she used back then and shift it to now, you'd have to be making $130,000 to be comfortable the way people were under the same metric, the same mathematics back in the 1960s. And it's incredible to hear that number, $130,000, 6 figures is the new poor. But it makes sense when you consider everything is considered luxury. All the prices have gone up. Even my cat's angry about it. I hear her screaming over there. She knows it's ridiculous that everything is a luxury, because not everything is a luxury, but everything is getting that premium price tag because they're slapping luxury on every good we consume. And if you want to eat real food, even that's considered a luxury. So they're putting extra money on that as well. So even though I feel like it's really crazy to consider, that number is actually correct. $130,000 does seem to be the new poverty line for a family of 4. It's hard times out there, and I know a lot of people are like, I'll make that type of money, but it is hard times out there because of unrealistic expectations from the millionaires. And as you can hear, my cats are very outraged by these prices as well. So y'all have a good day.
Back in the day, prices used to be fair, but now it's just overkill. The price of milestones like owning a home, a car, and having kids are completely out of reach for most people. It's really sad that we have teachers, police officers, welders, engineers, doctors, and even some lawyers that can't even afford to live. And the list of jobs goes on. What I'm trying to say is all of the stable jobs that hold our world up are getting priced out of living. And it's caused a lot of us to feel burnt out before even starting a career. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. But most importantly, thank you for watching.